You know, people ask me a lot, how can they better get in touch with their higher self? And this is a good question. Hey friends, it's me, Erin, your friendly neighborhood energy alchemist. I'm here at Conscious Chrysalis, my beautiful wellness center in Schaumburg. We're just about to open, but I wanted to come on here and remind you, it's okay. You're communicating with your guides way more than you think you are. The trick is to get out of your head about what it means to receive a sign from your guide. Why are you overthinking it? First of all, signs are intensely personal. That means if it feels like a sign to you, it doesn't matter if anybody else recognizes it as a sign. Please listen to your intuition. Also, if you see something and you think to yourself, I don't know, that doesn't feel like a sign, go with it. That's okay. Learning to communicate with your higher self is an ongoing process. It's constantly changing. Your guides will send you new signs, new symbols, new stuff to help engage you in the now. Because in the now is where they can communicate with you the easiest. So if you're living in the future trying to plan for something 6 months from now, they're not going to be able to reach you here in the now. Just remember, the only place you actually exist is right here, right now. So when you start seeing signs, get out of your head about, does someone else think this is a sign? What does this mean? What does this mean? Stop trying to dissect it. Instead, if it feels like a sign, do yourself the favor of giving yourself the gift of faith in self. If it feels like a sign to you, it's a sign to you. It doesn't always mean that you know what the sign means, what the actual meaning behind it is, but sometimes you're just learning to communicate. I say it all the time, but learning to communicate with your guides is when it's like two people who speak very different languages trying to communicate in the same language. My words are so strange. Blah, blah, blah. But it's the idea of someone who speaks French and someone who speaks Russian both trying to learn English. Very different languages trying to learn to communicate with each other. It's a trial and error thing. They will send everything to you, and what you pay the most attention to, what you acknowledge, is where they're going to focus on. So if that's repeated numbers to you, that's awesome, but don't get caught up in what does that number mean? What does that number mean? Instead, trust that you will understand what it means the more you see it. I did it myself. When I first started learning to communicate with my guides, I was constantly going to Google, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? But you'll notice when you go to Google and type in, what does angel number 111 mean? You're going to get 87 different definitions from 87 different websites that all tell you what it means from their perspective. Remember, signs are intensely personal, so don't get in your head about it, friends. Instead, do yourself the favor of just saying, I see that, and move on. Acknowledge, release expectation around the end of it, but acknowledge that you see it. This will encourage your guides to send more and more signs and symbols to you. Alignment is easy, friends. If you're having to effort really hard through something, it's not in alignment with you, do your best to shift your focus away from it. Just for a little bit, at least for a little bit. And there was no sun this morning, but I want to show you it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Go outside, get some sun in your face, friends. Have a big day.